We shall begin with the very first question first. The question is how many squares are there in the following figure, which means the number of squares, total number of squares we have to count it. So this in this matrix there are 20 squares. So if you have put your answer as 20, it is correct. There is one of the way is that you count it visually. There are another method is to count the total number of squares or rectangles using this formula. So based on the number of rows you can calculate it, the answer will come to be 20. Now moving on to the next question. The next question is to find the odd one out. So here there are few examples: canoe, yacht, raft and igloo. So here we can see that canoe, yacht and raft are instruments with which people travel from one place to another. They are carriages, while igloo is a stay. Therefore igloo is the odd one out in this question. The eighth question is which of the following domain name typically represents an educational institute of India? org is used for miscellaneous TLD organizations and doesn't fit anywhere else. .com is a very broad term for given to be commercial entities. .gov is domain for any kind of government office or agencies. Therefore, .ac.in is the correct answer, which represents an educational institute in India. And AC here is short for academia. Next question is what is the binary of 27? So if we do the 27 ka binary, then we will find that our answer should be 11011, which is option D. Next question, what is IoT? IoT, we all know it stands for Internet of Things. So if you have put your option to be Internet of Things, your answer stands correct. Next question, which one of the following is used as biological indicator of sulfur dioxide pollution? So the correct answer is lichen or lichen. So if air is polluted with sulfur dioxide, lichens will die. And if the air is pure only, then we can find such kind of lichens over organic matter. So different type of lichen will give us the idea of different type of pollutant or air pollution index in the environment. So correct answer is lichen. Next question, India launched the green hydrogen mission is 2021. So what is the source of the green hydrogen fuel? So out of the options, microbial degradation, heat, coal and cracking paraffin, the correct answer should be electrolysis, because there are two type of hydrogen, green and blue. So green hydrogen, there are two processes, electrolysis and renewable electricity. So renewable electricity does not fall under category of microbial degradation of biomass. Therefore the correct answer is electrolysis of water using energy for renewable sources. Next question is very tricky. Which of the following nuclear plants in India operates an MOX and called fast breeder reactor? So there are certain places where nuclear plants in India are present, and MOX stands for uranium plutonium mixed oxide. It's a very new technology, fast breeder type, and this is the facility. This facility is Kalpakkam near Tamil Nadu, in Tamil Nadu, sorry, and it is a 500 megawatt prototype fast breeder reactor. So the correct answer is Kalpakkam, Tamil Nadu. Next question belongs from the history. Vikramshila was one of the most important centers of learning in India, and the emperor who established it, people will think that because it is Vikramshila, so it should be Vikramaditya, but the correct answer is Dharmapala. Vikramshila is situated in Bihar, and these are the ruins of the Vikramshila University, which is uh, established by King Dharmapala of the Pala dynasty along with the Nalanda University. So this is another an arithmetic problem. If minus means divide, plus means into, divide means minus, into means plus, then which of the following equation is correct? So what we need to do here is that we replace the symbols by the new symbols, and then we check whether the LHS is equals to right hand side. So only for option B, LHS is equals to RHS, and we find the answer to be correct as option B. Next question, two objects name are given, trees and forest. So alongside trees and forest, what will be the correct answer? So here we see ocean and ship, student, teacher, schools and children. The correct answer is book and library. Why? Trees form a forest. Trees are found in forest. Oceans are not found in ship. It is vice versa. Ships are found in forest, ocean. Schools and children, children are found in schools. Students and teachers, this can be related, but students do not compose the teachers. Trees compose the forest. Therefore, books who are found in library and books, presence of books forms the library. So, books and library is the correct answer. Next question, the total age of three children in a family is 27 years. So we will consider there are three children and the total years is 27. The question is what will be their total age in 2023? So clearly for three children after 3 years each of them will have 3 years extra. Therefore 3 plus 3 plus 3 it will be 9 and this 9 we have to add on the existing number 27. Therefore the correct answer is 36 years. Now lactometer is given. Lactometer is related to milk. So what will be the usage of oxonometer? The correct answer is linear growth of plants. Why? Oxonometer is a device which actually determines us to the growth of plants. So if a plant grows linearly, then with the help of this oxonometer we can determine the height of which it has grown based on this formula. So correct answer is linear growth of plants. Next question, we have to arrange the units of memory in the correct order, starting from the smallest to the largest. So here clearly the answer is given to be C. So first comes bit and then the arrangement occurs. So 1 byte, then kilobyte, megabyte, gigabyte and then terabyte. So only C, option C here fits the demand. In the next question we have to pick up an output, not an output device, therefore we have to pick up an input device. So these are the categories of input devices and output devices of a computer set, and here we find that keyboard, because it sends signals into the system, so keyboard is the correct answer. The person who is known as the forest man of India, it should be the most easiest question in the paper. So forest man of India, we know it is Padma Shri Jadav Payam. Next question. The chairman of an independent commission of education, Jacques Delors, report to UNESCO was titled as, the answer is Learning the Treasure Within. So this is a Jacques Delors report which was submitted to UNESCO. Next question is, whose name is associated with two-factor theory of intelligence? The correct answer for two-factor theory of intelligence is Spearman. Spearman's two-factor theory of intelligence proposes that intelligence comprises of general factor G representing overall mental ability and specific factors, and the plot for the two-factor theory is given here. Another question is, which one of the following is not upheld? So this is a tricky question where not have been used. One of the following is not upheld by the Supreme Court in its judgment April 2012 based on the Right to Education RTE 2009. So we know that right to education, it suggests that the states are obligated to provide free and compulsory education to children of age 6 to 14 Sarva Shiksha and not on unaided non-minority and minority educational institutions. Also, the right to education suggests that for all schools except private, they have to reserve 25% of the seats for children belonging to weaker section and disadvantaged group. So here, right to education for all, yes, it has been obligated. Free education for all, yes, also it has been obligated. No reservation of seats for poor children in private school. This is not because 25% of the seats have to be reserved for poor children in private schools also, government and private, except private unaided minority schools. So the correct answer here should be B, option B, no reservation of seats for poor children in private schools. The next question is for the Bloom's taxonomy. The cognitive domain hierarchy of learning starts with, the correct answer for Bloom's taxonomy first step is knowledge. So it begins from knowledge, then goes to comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and last evaluation. So here hierarchy starts with it showed, so it will be knowledge. After knowledge, anything which comes in the taxonomical hierarchy is evaluation. So answer is knowledge. In the next question, we are asked to provide the non-violent communication, and it depends upon a number of factors. So we have to first know what non-violent communication is. For non-violent communication, it depends on the observations without judgment. Next, it talks about the feelings, needs, and request of the audience. So here, the possible factors should be empathy and focus on needs and feelings. Blame and criticism turns into violent. Conflict by definition is violent. So the correct answer is 1 and 4. So we found it in C. So non-violent communication depends on the number of factors, empathy and focus on needs and feelings, and the correct option is 1 and 4. In the next question, we are to give a pair appropriate word in the blank space. If rigid is broken, then admiration is the opposite of it. Rigid ka opposite broken. So admiration, we have to take something else. Jovial is happy. Repentance is not opposite of admiration. Disrespect should be the one. So here antonyms and near antonyms of the word admirations are here. So disrespect should be the correct answer. In the series of words given below, the first two words are related to each other in the same way. Hand is to finger and then pen is to what? So hand is the utility with, fingers are the utility of the hand. With the help of fingers, hand are of utilities. Therefore, here the correct answer should be nib. With the help of nib, a pen is of utility, not of the holder, paper or ink. No, it should be the nib. Selective morality is the basis of, so the selective morality or the biasness which is seen in class. The answer should be differentiating between different cognitive biases in classroom resulting in emotional discomfort. So the correct answer should be B. Next up, the steps of historical method of research. So the historical steps of method of research is given here: selection of problem, identifying the problem, then formulating the hypothesis, collection of data, analysis of data, testing the hypothesis and description of results. So here the first step should be identification of the problem. So A, B and C are the same. Identification of the problem is A. So D is wrong answer. Next, in the last step, it is the evaluation of the data or the interpretation of data. So therefore, interpretation of data should be towards the end, but in the end we have to do the description. So it is the criticism of the data. So B should be at the end. So only in option A is in the beginning and B should be in the end. So this is the correct answer. Now next, what is research design? A research design help us to establish the priorities, the data types, data collection, data analysis, and then the research proposal. So these, all of these are the steps of a research design. Entirety is a research design, not an independent step. Here the first option is to prepare a plan of action. So this is establishing priorities. The presentation of final data, this is our research proposal. The methods used in analysis and finding a final conclusion is known. So the correct answer should be all of the above. Next, a student wants to share his problems with his teacher and he visits his teacher for the same at home. Under such circumstances, the teacher should, what should the teacher do? The correct answer should be contact the student's parent and solve his problem, because the student is away from home and is in teacher's home. So this is a question that he should contact student's parents and solve his problem. The other question, answer, possible answer can be extend reasonable help and boost his morale, but B and D are completely wrong answer. The correct answer should be C, but A, probability of A being treated as the correct answer is also there. So we will learn about it once the answer key is released. So there is a passage given. The passage is written by Lakshminath Bezborwa, and then there are certain questions. The correct answers are marked here. What did the author's friend ask of him? The author friend asked of him not to publish the story. Lakshminath Bezborwa is the author of the story, of course, and then he is also the editor of Banhi. So 1 and 4 both are given in B. So this is the correct answer. Now the question following the tools of good governance. So social audit, citizens charter and right to information. These are definitely tools of good governance. So A, C and D should be true. A, C and D. It is given in the code, no sorry, option A. Now separation of power is between government and the judicial and legislative. So separation of power cannot be termed as a good governance part. Therefore the correct answer should be A. Okay, so this is another trick question. Anand and Sabir are friends. So Anand and Sabir are friends. Sabir is friendly to all, and Anand has many enemies. Anand has many enemies. Ramesh and Anand do not like each other. So definitely Anand and Ramesh are enemies to each other. So we have a group here, group of people, and some inferences are there. So based on this idea, based on this structure, Anand and Ramesh are both friends of Sabir. Anand and Ramesh are both friends of Shabir. So A is correct. So option A and D, we are left with this. Sabir is friendly with Anand's friend. So Shabir is friendly with Anand's friend. So do we know this from this structure? No, we do not know this. So B should be false. So the correct answer should be C. Ramesh and Sabir are friends. So clearly Ramesh and Sabir are friends. So correct answer should be 28D. Okay. A research work involving temporal analysis of a phenomenon related to quantitative, cross-sectional, longitudinal and historical. So for this we have to know what temporal analysis means. Temporal analysis investigates how a phenomenon changes or evolves over time, examining trends, patterns and relationships in data collected across different time periods to understand its dynamics. So it is time dependent research. So this is directly related to the longitudinal research, not the quantitative, cross-sectional or historical. It is related to longitudinal research where data is collected over a long period of time. Which of the following evaluation systems is associated with the learner's holistic performance covering scholastic as well as non or co-scholastic areas? So the correct answer should be continuous and comprehensive evaluation. Only with this, both the scholastic and no co-scholastic areas can be covered with the holistic performance can be evaluated. The another question is classroom communication is effective on the principle of edutainment. The highlight here is edutainment. Edutainment is a form of programming that helps. The correct answer should be enlightening the audience through intrapersonal communication, audio visual aids and live action. So option A is also correct. We find that education entertainment with cinematic performance, live action and games, they can also be formed as edutainment. But option C gives us effective edutainment, and because it enlightens the audience itself. So the correct option should be C. Mass communication supplies information regarding the processes, issues, events and societal development issues. So this information process, all the steps involved, thus function of mass communication is known as broadcasting. The answer should be broadcasting because it also is helping in the societal development issues and is supplying information regarding all the issues, events and everything. So it should be broadcasting, not surveillance, content procuring or correlation. The answer should be broadcasting. Next, the democracy in the classroom is best reflected through, the answer should be allowing maximum participation of students in classroom activities. So with the help of this, democracy in the classroom is reflected. Intrapersonal communication, here the term is intra, not inter. Inter means between two people, intra means within one. So here B, C and D, it is between two, multiple or large number. So it is all these three as inter, while A is with oneself, so it is intrapersonal. So 49A is the correct answer. Here this plot and the type of the plot is asked here. So the plot, we see that it is gradually increasing, not linearly but gradually increasing to a very high extent, and then it is reaching a plateau. So this structure is known as exponential structure, and then it stabilizes here. So the correct answer should be the population initially increases exponentially and then stabilizes. Next question is which of the following is not, the key here is not an encompassing principle underlying the successful implementation of value education. So clearly conviction, critical thinking and commitment are value education implementation helpers, but courage is not. So the correct answer of this question is courage. Next question is effectiveness of teaching depends on what? So clearly the effectiveness of teaching depends upon the subject understanding. Rest we will see later. The most appropriate answer is subject understanding of teacher, and only option A gives us the D to be true. So therefore 22A is the correct answer. Next, student is required to score 35% of marks to pass the examination. Rohit scored 249 and failed by 31 marks. Find the maximum mark in the examination. So what we will do, we will choose the maximum to mark to be X. So pass mark is 35% of X. Rohit scored 249 and he failed by 31. So pass mark should be 249 plus 31 is 28. Therefore X is equal to this and the answer is 800. So correct answer of this question is 800. Research should be value oriented in the interest of all living creatures. So this clearly option B is the correct answer because it says option 2 to be true in the interest of all living creatures. Next question is, an investigator studied the census data for a given area and prepared a write-up based on them. Such a write-up is known as a research report, and once it is published, it is then called as an article. If it is defended amongst peers, then it is known as thesis. So this is a research report. We here have another question which says that a dealer offers a discount of 10% on market price. It should be market price of commodity. By what percentage should the dealer increase? So already there is a discount of 8%, and to make an overall profit of 8%, we have to add it. So 10 plus 8, 18% above the cost price is the correct answer. Here we have a question which marks a table. In this table we have marks out of 50, and then these are the marks out of the 50, and these are the subjects. Inside the table we have the total number of students. The total number of students are 100. So the first question is the number of students scoring less than 20 marks, 20% marks, not 20 marks. So here 20% of 50 is 10. Therefore scoring less than 10 will be in aggregate 83. 83, 100 minus 83 is 17, so the correct answer is 17. At least 40% marks in mathematics, that means 40% marks means 20. So in mathematics 40% marks at least is 70, so answer is 70. Here we have what is the difference between number of students. So like the previous cases we will do the same, and the correct answer should be 2, and for 6 it is 30. The table below gives the quantum of loan disbursements by 5 banks. So there are 5 banks, and these are the loans given in the individual years. So the question is, which bank gave loans more than 25% of all the banks combined in 1986? So in 1986 all the banks combined they had 203. So we are not focused in this. Instead what we are focused in the highest amount, because it is 25% more than all of that. So here clearly we see that 70 is the highest. So if we add them all up and then we try to find which bank dispersed the loan more than 25%, then the math comes out to be option is A. Bank 1 gave the total amount in 1918, 23, 45, 30 and 70, and then we will compare it with the total of